Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Real Madrid 2, Alaves 1. The players, they proved last night that they can actually get the job done. They can actually play, and it wasn't a dominant display. It wasn't like Real Madrid won 5-0. But what I wanted to highlight was not the result, not the scoreline, right? We can put that aside because La Liga is basically over. So right now it's about the eye test, it's about what we see, it's about the performance, it's about the work rate, it's about the commitment on the pitch. It's about how the players play basically, and all that added factor of what I just said, basically how they play, how much they run, if they run, um, how much they fight for the badge. All of that, it wasn't perfect. This isn't, the peak of Real Madrid in terms of, running through walls and, bleeding for the jersey, bleeding for the shirt. It wasn't that extreme, but it was a lot better than recent weeks. It was a lot better than what we saw in the first leg against Bayern Munich. It was a lot better than what we saw against Girona, against Mallorca, against Getafe. These are the kind of games in the past few weeks and months that we haven't seen anything. It's been deflated. It's been dead. And I won't let these sort of little results and performances here and there overshadow the problem. I will always say this: the issues at this club right now still has to be resolved no matter what happens in the last 6 games. So we've got 6 more games to go. Even if Barcelona lose tonight against who are they playing? Celta Vigo, I believe. Um, Even if somehow, they lose their game, which I don't think will happen. Even if Real Madrid win La Liga this season somehow, I will not, suggest that everything is great. Sky is blue, everything is sunny and it's warm and whatever. There are still big issues at the club that is not being addressed at the moment and hasn't been addressed for the past 2 years. There needs to be. Regardless of what happens from now until May, things still have to change. And it starts from the very top. I've been saying this for months. The hierarchy, the people at the top of the chain at the club, hold the most amount of power to make changes. They are the one that can decide who comes in, who leaves, which manager slash coach comes in. Is the current manager slash coach good enough? Are the players good enough? Most importantly, are the players working hard enough? Are the players bothered enough? These are the sort of questions that us fans ask. And the ones who answer it are the people at the board, the people working at the top of the club, the president. And they are the ones that are going to be held accountable no matter what happens at the end of the season. Because it's been 2 years of shit show. Let's put it, clear. Let's make it clear and let's call it out for what it is. The past 2 seasons have been absolutely disgraceful and pathetic in all fronts. Real Madrid have not been competitive in La Liga, but most importantly in the Champions League. Arsenal absolutely spanked Real Madrid. So did Bayern Munich. Simple. You might say, oh, we actually, gave Bayern a game and we actually, were gonna win without the red card, and up until the red card we were gonna win. Maybe. But why did the red card happen? How did we react after the red card? Why did we lose the first leg at the Bernabeu 2-1 when we knew that going away to the Allianz Arena we needed a good result to take away from home? Why did we not finish in the top 8 in the league phase? Why did we give ourselves a handicap by finishing in the playoffs, and then we had to play 2 extra games against Benfica, and every knockout stage game our first leg is at home? If we had just beaten Benfica in the game we lost 4-2, we would have finished top 8, maybe top 4, top 3, but certainly top 8 obviously, and probably would have had some games the second leg at home. And we know how well Real Madrid performed in the second leg at home. And also, why must we play at home in the second leg to actually play well? That's another question for you. So there's so many questions and so many rebuttals that you can have to every single, glazer of the hierarchy. There's no way you can sit there as a fan and defend the people at the top for the decision making over the last 2 years, for not being accountable for the mistakes they've made, the sacking of Xabi Alonso. Things like these have caused a big problem at this football club. And good win today, last night. Good win. Absolutely. Happy for the team. Happy for the players. I'm happy. I really am. Because if we had lost or drawn, I would have had another shit week, basically. So I'm actually relatively happy and content that we won. But there's a bigger picture to it. There's a bigger picture that we cannot and must not forget, which is the Champions League and in general, right? So like I said, Real Madrid probably won't win La Liga, and that's where we highlight the issue. And if Real Madrid win La Liga somehow, we also must still highlight the issue. Don't let wins pollute your sort of thinking of what's going on. Don't let it overshadow what is going on at this football club. Anyways, a really negative start, but good win. Let's talk about the goals. Mbappe's goal was literally luck. Like, it was a good finish, it was a good goal, but he was trying to shoot far post. Took a massive deflection. The keeper couldn't react in time. He went near post. 1-0. And fair play to Vinny, because that second goal was actually really good. It was a trademark Vinny, sort of cutting in, and he took a shot from distance and the keeper just couldn't save it. Unsavable, really. It was a great finish, great strike from distance. Good goal. And he apologized at the end, which was, at least I look at Vinny in that moment at the end of the game and I'm thinking, you know what? That's accountability right there. Fair play. Camavinga. He probably got booed. He probably got a lot of hate. And I'm not just talking about F you or you're a shit player. We know the bigger picture. We know that things like racism are still in it. And we know that things like, that we won't get into are still in it. But in general, Camavinga has not had a good mental side of things for the past few weeks / months. Even before the Bayern game, you could see that he sort of mental state in games, concentration, it's not been up to what we have come to expect of him. But I thought at the end when he did apologize to the fans, classy, fair play. Any players who came out at the end and apologized, that's the least you can do. Because if you aren't even man enough to say, you know what, it was a shit show, it was terrible, we made mistakes, we effed up, we apologize, then this team is not going to go anywhere. And that is not directed at anyone, by the way. So before you try to say, oh, but this player didn't apologize, so does that mean he needs to leave? No. I'm not saying that. I'm just praising those who actually came out and said, you know what? We are sorry. It's our fault. We apologize. And then Alaves got. I don't know what happened. I mean, it was just so messy, man. And I don't mean Lionel Messi. I mean Messy. Like, I don't even know what happened. Like, there was balls coming into the box. Hold up. From Alaves, and Real Madrid cleared it, but cleared it back to an Alaves player who took a shot from outside the box. But Tony Martinez was in the box, and he just backheeled it in. As the ball hit him, and he just backheeled it in. I had a feeling that one of him or Lucas Boye were gonna score, and true and behold, he did score. But yeah, I mean you would say that maybe the first 45 minutes to an hour, I think Real Madrid were pretty much on top. Towards the end, Real Madrid just, yet again took the foot off the gas pedal and allowed Alaves back in it. But yeah, Real Madrid get the job done. That's the least we can expect right now. I'm not hyping this up. I'm not saying that this is, absolutely crazy and a crazy achievement that Real Madrid have won a football game. I'm not saying that, because us as Real Madrid fans know the standards and the expectations is to win trophies, is to win La Ligas, is to win the Champions Leagues, is to win Copa del Rey. And by the way, speaking of Copa del Rey, Real Sociedad, congratulations, you guys have done well. Fair play to them. But speaking of that, yeah, Real Madrid should be aiming to win these trophies, but we haven't seen that for the last 2 years. So something has gone wrong. And if you don't believe something has gone wrong, then enjoy and get ready for a third year trophyless. Because guess what? Next year, if nothing changes in the summer, next year will be literally a copy and paste of this year and last year. And if you want it, well, if you're a rival fan, you want it. But if you're a Real Madrid fan and you want that, you're not a Real Madrid fan. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, hit the button, subscribe to the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.